Hi, this is Karen Tax with a video podcast on leadership where you are being true to yourself. Hi, it's Karen Tax from the I Am Way. In this video, I want to talk about the basics of your true self and the I Am Way's true self process. This is the center, very center of the I Am compass. These basics are covered in my Define Your True Self course, so consider this either a review or introduction to these basics. And these basics are not a substitute for taking the Define Your True Self course, so please be sure that you've done that. It's important to know that true self basics are counter to the dominant paradigm in society of win-lose dynamics. And this includes things like you can't trust people or the world is against you. So true self basics are ideas you'll need to review over and over again to really understand them. And having people around you using these ideas as well as you is helpful to reinforce what's really possible with life. In my Define Your True Self course, I introduce the concepts of choice, identity, awareness, focus, stories, and inspired action as being the keys to being a true self leader. And I introduce the difference between being a classic hero or heroine and a conscious hero or heroine by showing the difference between the best self aspects and drama aspects of who you are. These are important aspects to understand because they help you take control of your current situation and become aware of what's true, the ways that you are essential to the world, and to know what's actually possible and right for you, and therefore also good for the people around you. It's also what allows you to define success on your terms, not based on what someone else has decided for you, like a parent or spouse, or maybe even someone you're trying to please or impress. It's also what allows you to destroy the idea that success comes at a price, that you have to somehow sacrifice important aspects of who you are, or maybe even compromise your integrity to be successful. These are old ideas that are part of a dominant and impressive way of working that needs to end. So, for example, there's this idea that success looks like working 80 or more hours a week so that you can have a big house and car and spouse and kids, and that you have to delay your happiness until you have those things, right? You'll be good enough when. So people who still believe this, and there's many who do, don't understand that you create, I guess what I would call the quality of your destination based on the quality of the steps that you take on your journey. So movements like slow food and tiny houses have been started by people who understand that sustainability and happiness start now in how you travel and how you stay true to yourself along the way. So you making choices to work and live in ways that allow you to be happy and have meaningful work and to be naturally healthy and productive in sustainable ways are critical for us to reestablish balance between humans and our work and life on the planet. So to review the basics of true self leadership, the true self process has you fill out this template. Make sure it's up there. So your best self is the middle, in the X in the middle, and your drama aspects are on the outside. And the whole thing is your true self, where your best self defines who you really are, right? It's where you lead from, and drama informs or teaches you about who you are. What I don't talk about in the Define Your True Self course, but I do with most clients in person, is how this toy can be a great visual to describe the difference between your best self and drama. So your best self is when you feel expansive, connected to your strengths and natural talents, and open to connection with others. So calm and energized. And your drama self is when you experience contraction, disconnection from others, and focus on what you need to get done. And drama is a different kind of energy, usually fueled by survival motivations like fear or discomfort even. And I'm calling being in drama being a classic hero or heroine, which is great for problem solving and handling crises. It's great for being focused and surviving. But being a classic hero or heroine has its place. But living in this contracted place, like this, all of the time, isn't healthy. And it causes you to be defined by the limitations and survival aspects of life. It leaves you feeling like you're never enough and not able to maximize your potential or thrive. So what's important to know is that you have a choice to be your best self or drama or a combination, and that we are our most healthy selves when we're easily moving back and forth, kind of this nice rhythm in between our best selves and drama. Right? So it's important to know about this choice and to define your true self so you know your powerful, capable self that is able to influence what's happening around you instead of being at the mercy of what's happening. If you let your drama aspects define who you are, you become defined by what's happening around you and by the limitations and fears of life. And you become stuck in patterns of drama and confused about the true nature of your strengths and what's truly possible in life. And even more importantly, how essential you are to the world, how interconnected and a part of life that you are. You don't realize that you and your gifts are an essential part of life because you're stuck in this contracted and disconnected place. People who spend most of their time in drama find that drama is mostly what is possible. So, for example, from a drama perspective, say if your life is busy, you think it's because life is busy. So you live in busy. Busy defines what you can do. Busy defines who you are. You might even say, I am busy. And if your identity is I am busy, your capacities and capabilities are limited by being busy. Without the true self process and true self leadership, you're confused about who you are and what's possible. You don't realize the amazing aspects of who you truly are and the huge capabilities you actually have. When you can see who you are beyond the physical limitations of the drama of life, so much more is possible. So when you understand the difference between your best self and drama, you start to realize the importance of being aware of when you're being your best self and when you're in drama. So you understand a deeper truth about who you are at your best, what I describe as your strengths and natural talents, your essential self, the essence of who you are, the life force energy of you, your infinitely loving and abundant and resourceful self. When you know and are aware of the difference between best self and drama, you realize that a whole lot more is possible than what's happening around you. And you'll know that drama doesn't define what's possible any more than it defines who you are. A quick way that I love for people to use to test whether they're at their best self or drama is to try on these two statements. You can say, I am busy. Just say, I am busy. Okay? Then say, I have more than enough time to do everything I want. Okay? Just say, I have more than enough time to do everything I want. Right? So if saying I'm busy is more normal and comfortable than saying I have more than enough time, you can know that you're in drama. Okay? And the key here is to not make yourself bad or wrong for being in drama, right? No, don't do that, please. It's simply important to be aware of where you are. Expansive, calm, and energized, or contracted, tense, and maybe lower energy. Just where are you? And to know that your identity defines your capacity and you have a choice about who you are. If you have no drama in your life, you can also know that something is wrong, because drama is a normal part of life. And it's a sign that you're taking risks and stretching into new learning and capabilities. So if you've realized that you spend most of your time in drama, don't worry. Most people live in drama, although most people wouldn't want to admit that, right? And it's okay, because we're human, right? The opportunity that you have now, knowing the true self center of the I Am Way compass, is to create a healthy balance, moving between your best self and drama, right? So what's important is to simply notice the difference between your best self and drama in everyday life, and to make conscious choices about what you want. This is what being a conscious hero or heroine is all about. So remember that I'm not talking about the people around you. I'm talking about you. I know how tempting this is to focus on everyone else, right? But this is about you and your best self and drama and everything in between. And what I teach in the Define Your True Self course is to lead from your best self and learn from drama. Right? So yes, there will be people around you in drama, and it will probably include you as well, right? And what you have control over, what you can change, where you can tap into being personally powerful, is to know the truth about yourself. To know you're naturally happy, strong, resourceful, expansive best self. And know that living from your best self will increase your capabilities and capacities. You'll know the truth that what you are capable of is limited only by your imagination and your ability to clearly see the drama as there to inform you, not to define you. You define you. Using true self-leadership allows you to stop having the drama around you, being the stupid or frustrating stuff that happens, and turn it into the gifts of being human. Imperfectly, perfectly human. To see drama as the gifts that can fuel your passions and reveal healthy desires that maybe you didn't even know you had, right? So with choice and identity and awareness, You can focus then from either your best self or drama, or a combination, as needed. For example, by focusing from drama, busy is just the way life is, right? Or focusing from the perspective of drama, those maybe panic attacks that you might be having about work. Those are shameful. But by focusing from your best self, persistent busy might be a sign that it's time to make different choices and slow down and take care of yourself. From the focus of your best self, those panic attacks could be a sign that maybe the work you're doing is way off base from your natural gifts and talents, and it's time for a change. Instead of something being shameful, that panic becomes a gift from your soul speaking your truth to you. From the perspective of your best self, drama that was once annoying or even painful becomes gifts we can use to learn and grow and even heal. The very things, they become then the very things that make life meaningful and fulfilling. So choice, identity, awareness, focus, all of these things together bring us to the point where we can tell stories of truth about who we are and what we want to participate creating in the world, where we lead the way to what we want more and more every day, little by little. The best self aspects of who we are become as much of our grounded practical realities, like I am strong and capable, and this is true. It's as practical as drama, right? The physical things we see. We begin to see and use the limitations of drama as part of our creative expression, not as limitations to what's possible. So then life becomes art. Yeah, it's good, right? And eventually we see how the stories of living based in drama are stories of using force to get things done. I think of it as like pushing and pushing, right? So when we're pushing to make things happen, the more we push, the more resistance we create and the more problems we experience. And the harder it is to grow easily into new territories, either personally or professionally in our businesses and organizations, right? So remember, sometimes force is a useful thing, just not all of the time, right? So when we choose the healthier power of our best selves over the force of drama, it makes growing and evolving into new territory much easier. So imagine trying to solve the problem of being overloaded with busy by adding more busy, right? It's like adding fuel to an already burning fire, right? And instead of putting out the fire of busy first, we just make it worse. The last concept, inspired action, is about taking action from your best self instead of from drama. So when you act from drama, you create more drama. And ironically, acting from your best self does not mean you won't experience drama. I used to think that. It was pretty funny to realize that was so not true, because we are human after all, right? And drama really is a sign that we're on the right track, learning and growing. What does end when we take inspired action from our best selves is old stories about survival and enemies and in-group, out-group dynamics and the exhaustion that comes from struggling and fighting. I believe that one of our most important opportunities right now as humans is to change the way we look at the drama aspects of ourselves, which is really about how we can choose to look at our humanity with dignity and respect instead of with judgment or fear or even shame. When we welcome drama, we step out of struggle with our humanity and we start to see the gifts of our humanity, which allow us to live into our potential more and more every day with grace and ease. The challenge is to first anchor into our best selves so we have the strength and courage to be present with drama. Then see drama with eyes wide open. And from here, we can see ourselves with love and compassion that allows us to learn and grow into the next best version of ourselves, being with the wholeness of our true selves along the way.